Good morning. I'm standing here just applying oils, getting myself ready to visit with each of you. And so I'm just going to hold some of my crystals for a moment while we give people time to get online. And I see there's somebody already here. Thank you for being here. I'm looking at some of my fluorite crystals that have changed so much. However, I'll come back to them. I'm going to start first by just taking a few breaths, and then I will use my bowls again, the sound healing. That's a great way to begin to set the energy. And today I'm going to start with our beautiful rainbow platinum crystal bowl that Sasha gave Stephen and me for our birthdays. And then I broke a tooth a little over a week ago, one of my front ones, which is one reason why I wasn't here last week. However, our wonderful Balinese dentist was able to fix it for me because 2 days before was the first time she was allowed to go back into her practice and to see people. And after the dentist, Stephen and I went to, it was my first outing in Ubud in all this time. And Stephen and I went to the Tibetan bowl shop, and I have a new baby to play. We got 3 new toys that will be at the center for all of us to play with, and then I'll end up with the bell. So I'm going to start very carefully by picking up our beautiful rainbow platinum crystal bowl and using that, and I won't talk during this period. Good morning and happy Sunday. I hope you have had a wonderful, wonderful week or 2 weeks. Last week we took a slight holiday. I felt as if I were jet lagged totally with all of the wonderful, wonderful sessions in the Young Living Virtual Convention. This was very special to me because it was the first time ever that I have been able to actually attend, to see and hear every workshop that was offered. And I have actually watched them more than once, most of them. So I hope that all of you had that opportunity to grow, to learn, to be inspired during the Young Living Convention. And to me, this week, I decided living in the Vortex was a really appropriate thing for me, because I truly feel as if I'm in the center of a whirlwind. It keeps getting faster and faster and faster, and particularly since we all had that period of time where we were taken out of our normal lifestyle and confined. And many of us responded in different ways from the way that we may have expected to respond. However, we all, every single one of us, changed during that period. And now, as the time is beginning where we're starting to go out and do more things with other people, seeing other people, there's a big decision of sorts, because we fell into or created new habits, new ways of doing things during this period, which I love what Singapore calls it, the circuit breaker period. Breaking the circuits of the way we used to do things. It's as if the whole universe is conspiring to support us all, each of us, in doing exactly that, breaking the circuits. We've had an amazing month. Has anyone else experienced a lot of interesting things this month? On June the 6th, we had a full moon eclipse. Full moons are all about letting go of the way we used to do things, letting go of the things that are cluttering our lives. I don't know about you, but for me, this is very, very difficult. It truly requires my focus, because I really am one who tends to like to do things over and over again the same way, and that won't work. How many of you have gone out a few times already after this period of confinement and found that everything seemed different? I was looking at my fluorite crystals that were very dark when I pulled them out of the box, when I unboxed them, that came with the Northern Lights black spruce, and looking at the transformation. Now this one was extremely dark, and look at it now. Even the crystals are mirroring to us this change. Then, of course, on the 21st of June, we had a new moon, which is all about creativity. Have you noticed that you're thinking of doing things in new ways? New ideas are coming to you. This also was an eclipse which magnifies that power. And we're coming up next Sunday on another eclipse. Rarely do they come 3 at a time, but here we are, and it's going to be letting go again. That full moon, letting go of the things that are not working for us. So yes, we're in a vortex. And what is it that is the most important thing for us to focus upon to keep us sane at this point and more productive? To me, it's all about grounding, staying grounded. We have a blend for that. To me, grounding, what does it mean to you? That's the important thing, not what it means to me, but what it means to you. I will tell you what it means to me. Being grounded means being in our sacred space. That space which I show it often, where we're in there where we are fully connected with the Creator. Above, we're fully connected to the earth, grounding, and listening to our guidance, having our boundaries strong so that we keep those external things outside, just as we've done during this period of confinement. See, the universe has conspired to assist us in realizing and understanding and paying attention to our sacred space, to where we are, what we're surrounding ourselves with. And it's all about maintaining those boundaries that we had to have physical boundaries, but also energetic boundaries. And I keep drawing this card, the boundary card, which is all about supporting us in maintaining our grounding, our sacred space, without allowing other external things to interfere. Now, we all have opportunities for everything to interfere. It's a choice. Everything we do, and as we begin going out again, we can choose what we're going to hold on to that we learned during these last months, and what we will let go of, and bringing in the new things. When we go back to being outside, are we going to find that we allow those external things to keep us, to prevent us from moving ahead in the way that we may have decided was correct for us? Well, one of the things that I find is so very important is that daily journey of the glyphs, that checking in, that daily process. Now, how many of you use this time to do your 30-day transformational process? If you're new to joining us, then download your app and understand, join our New Life Journey group and understand what we're talking about, because the first 30 days will set the patterns that we can continue with on and on. And it's not about stopping anything at the end of 30 days, just as our breaking this circuit and going back out into the world again is not about going back to the way everything was before, but integrating those things that we choose to have in our lives, those things that we will not allow in our lives, what we call our refinement list. Distilling, I love, that's Stephen's favorite word, is to say he distills his list. Well, my list keeps growing longer and longer, and every day as I'm reviewing the list, I am distilling as we do an oil. I'm taking the essence out and selecting the things that are most appropriate for my focus on that particular day or at that particular time. I'm finding that the more that I review my refinement list, the more I understand about who I am, what I choose to have in my life, what truly is important to me. And some of the things that I felt were so very, very important for a long, long time don't even make the list anymore, much less the top 3 things. I distilled down to 3 if possible. And at the top of my list, which really means I only have 2 things left, is that maintaining my sacred space. Because this, for me, is just critical to anything positive moving into my life or having in my life. So if you haven't already done it, there's still time. That's what's so wonderful. Every single day is a brand new opportunity. Every hour, every minute, every second, we can make new choices. Now, choice is one of the big things because choose, is one of those 8 words. I can, I am, I will, I choose, I have, I love, I create, and I enjoy. When we are blocked on any of those things, and often you may find if you go through and test each one of them using whether you use your kinesiology, muscle testing, whether you use pendulum, whatever it is that you use to get in touch with what is really happening, with your guidance from the source, listening, understanding that when we have those blocks, we're not going to move forward very, very rapidly, or that's when we're feeling ungrounded. So some of the oils that I pulled out for me today to have right around me, so the energy is here, whether I am using them or actually applying them. I've already applied them once, well, actually 3 times this morning. Stress away. This is not a stressful thing. It is a positive thing. Every time we look inside, we pay attention to the guidance that we're getting from the source, directly from the Creator. We are strengthening our understanding. We are lessening our stress. So it's not about being stressed. It's about growing actively, refining yourself. So that's the first oil, first blend that I chose to have. And of course, Sacred Mountain, because to me, Sacred Mountain truly holds the essence of what that sacred space is all about. That connection with your Creator, that ability to be grounded to the earth and to push all other distractions away. And the next oil that I put up for myself today was Sacred Frankincense. This anchors that energy of acceptance. We also have a blend of acceptance, if you happen to have that one. This is that frequency that will allow you to accept who you are, what you are, what you have been doing with your time. It's all about no judgment, loving yourself and others where you are, accepting who you are and who others are. I'm going to have some of that in a shower right now. And then the next oil that I chose was possibly, well, they're all so important. There's no one that's the most important, but this reminder to remain in present time. It's not about what happened yesterday. It's not about what's going to happen. It's what is happening right this moment. So now, I don't know about you, but I don't like to think of missing out on anything. So to me, when we are not in the present moment, and this is something that I focus on all the time because it is not something I learned as a child, to be in that present moment. I was always looking back at how I could improve what I had done, or judging what I had done, or planning for the future. Doing that, it was all about not being present in this moment. So how can we have joy in every moment when we're not in that moment? So present time is one that I carry with me a lot. I also have sitting here release, because we've got another big opportunity with another eclipse coming up on next Sunday, to help us let go of all of those beliefs that we may have held. They may have been instilled in us since we were children, or even before this lifetime, but to release, to let go of those beliefs, those fears, those ways of doing things that just don't work anymore. You know, we've learned in these last couple of months that, we had to learn new ways of doing things. We had to let go of the old way of doing things. And we've learned a lot of new things. I have, and it's very exciting. That's why it feels like such a vortex to be adding anything else. I've gotten comfortable with some of these new ways of doing things, and I've also found that I have friends who are up 24 hours a day, and that I'm too old for that now. So I have to put my boundaries up and not look at my phone, get online, because internet is 24/7. And the fact is that we do need to have that time to ourselves to really grow and bloom. So I want my life to be harmonious. So this is another one. And one of Gary's favorite ones, of course, is Valor Blend. It's going to take courage. And the big thing is that as we're moving forward, to release that judgment. It's not about judging. It's not about anything being better or worse. It's about being the right thing, the best choice in that moment. And that's what's going to anchor us and allow that whirlwind, that vortex that is really flying around us, saying faster, faster, faster. It will allow us to remain in the calm center of that chaos. So I look forward to hearing from each of you all of these things that are going on, the exciting things that as you begin integrating your new ways of doing things and getting out into the world again, it's not going to necessarily be easy, but we have the tools that are required. And do join our New Life journey and share your experiences with us. And I look forward to seeing you again next week, and have a beautiful week of transformation, of joy, of harmony, and of love.